The night after I heard her words, I didn't sleep. Every laugh, every insult replayed in my head. But anger wouldn't fix this. Proof would. I woke up before sunrise and made coffee strong enough to burn. Then I started planning. Not revenge yet. Documentation. I ordered 2 small recorders online. One for the living room. One for her office desk. They looked like regular flash drives. Loop recording for days. No one would notice. While waiting for delivery, I checked our shared iCloud calendar. She used my old Apple ID to sync her phone. Big mistake. With one click, I saw her messages, screenshots, and DMs. Mostly wedding talk, but the tone was clear. She wasn't planning a marriage. She was planning a brand. I created a folder on my laptop. Named it Receipts. Every invoice, every contract, every photo went inside. Then I opened a spreadsheet. Column 1, expense. Column 2, paid by. Column 3, evidence. I wanted her lies to collapse under their own weight. The recorders arrived 3 days later. She was out shopping with her friends. Perfect timing. I placed one behind the TV frame. The other under her vanity drawer. Both synced to my phone. Every word she said would be mine to keep. That same night, she asked for my card. Just a few decorations, she smiled. I smiled back. Of course. She spent $2,400 in one afternoon. I called the bank and filed a dispute. Unauthorized charge. Approved within hours. She never noticed. Next, I added text alerts to my phone for every purchase over $50. Her spending became my daily update. Every transaction told me more about her priorities. Designer candles. Luxury sashes. A private yoga class for the bridesmaids. All for show. While she filmed behind-the-scenes clips for her followers, I filmed something else. Reality. The difference between a dream wedding and a delusion. 2 days later, she FaceTimed one of her friends in the kitchen. Forgot her AirPods. The recorder caught everything. He's still paying for everything, she laughed. I might actually pull this off. Her friend called me the sponsor. That was the moment I stopped seeing her as my fiancée. She was a project, and I was about to end her career. The next morning, I went through her emails. Vendor lists. Photographer contracts. Even her bridal skincare deals. All signed with my name. I printed each one. Stamped the date. Labeled them by vendor. The pile grew thicker every hour. Proof of payment. Proof of intent. Proof of betrayal. By midnight, I had 53 files. Enough to destroy a fake fairy tale. I looked at her sleeping beside me, peaceful, pretending. She thought she'd already won. But I just started counting the score. And this time, the math would be perfect. A week passed, and the mask started to slip. Samantha was always on her phone. New messages, new calls, new secrets. One night, her phone buzzed with a name I didn't recognize. Ryan. At first, I thought he was another vendor. Then I heard her laugh while texting him. Not her fake influencer laugh. Her real one. The one she used to give me. I waited until she fell asleep. Then I checked the iPad, synced to her messages. There he was. Ryan from Brand Vision Marketing. Flirty emojis, late-night messages, voice notes. He called her my luxury bride. She sent him pictures of her dress. And notes about our launch. It wasn't about love. It was business. They were planning content for her YouTube channel. From fiancé to influencer, one folder said. Inside were thumbnails, scripts, and captions ready to post. She even had a slogan. Building my dream life, one ring at a time. My ring. My money. My life. That night, I didn't get angry. I got efficient. I copied every file and saved them on a flash drive. Labeled it Luxury Bride Lies. The next morning, I called my friend Marcus. He used to work private security. Asked him for a lawyer's contact. He gave me the number of Melissa Shaw. Sharp, calm, no nonsense. I met her that afternoon. Her office smelled like coffee and confidence. I told her everything. She didn't even flinch. She just said, "You're sitting on gold, keep collecting." Then she explained how to protect myself, move my money, lock down my business, and make Samantha sign a post-nup right before the wedding. "She'll do it for the image," Melissa said. "She'll think it's romantic." Smart woman. Before I left, Melissa handed me a checklist. Each box was a layer of protection. I went home and started crossing them off. New bank account. New passwords. Removed her as emergency contact. Backed up every transaction. The next day, Samantha was glowing. "Ryan says we should film the proposal story again," she said. "For the followers." I smiled. "Whatever you need." Inside, I was documenting her every move. That night, I heard her on a call. She said, "Ethan's perfect for my audience. Hardworking, simple, loyal, people will eat it up." I saved that clip too. The recorder blinked green in the corner. The evidence was endless. By the weekend, I had folders full of her lies. Emails, DMs, voice notes, even her marketing plan. She was building her brand on my back. But she didn't realize I was building her downfall. When she kissed me goodnight, I looked right through her. She thought I was still in love. Maybe I was, with the version of her that never existed. But now, I was in love with something else. Justice. And justice was coming quietly, one file at a time. I started turning evidence into strategy. First, I moved the key vendors onto contracts in her name only. Photographer, florist, DJ, all reissued under Samantha's email. I called the venue and asked for a contract rewrite. I insisted the booking list show me as the sole authority. They agreed and placed deposits into escrow. Now she couldn't touch the booking without my signature. Next, I shifted money where she couldn't reach it. Opened a business account at a different branch. Transferred most savings into that account. Closed the joint card and froze the joint account. I asked my accountant to prepare records on short notice. No questions asked. He printed statements and labeled everything. I created a legal folder and filled it with proofs. Receipts, contracts, screenshots, audio transcripts, all dated. I changed passwords for everything tied to us. Email cloud, our shared calendar locked down. Then I bought a small smoke detector camera for the hallway. Marcus installed it and said it looked professional. I also bought a tiny GPS tracker for her car. Placed it in the spare tire well. Legally, the car was still registered to me. That meant I could track locations without a fuss. 2 days later, the tracker lit up. Samantha parked at a downtown office complex. 10 minutes later, a call from Ryan showed on the log. The living room recorder captured them whispering about a meet. He told her a floor number. She told him to wait by the stairs. I labeled the clip lunch date, Ryan. I printed the timestamp and saved the audio twice. I began to plant little doubts around the house. Empty envelopes from old accounts on the counter. Receipts hidden under cushions. Small signs meant to unsettle, nothing obvious. She noticed the odd items but didn't ask. She assumed stress. Assumed wedding planning nerves. Meanwhile, I started quietly removing vendors from her control. Called photographers and asked them to reserve the date under a fake name. Paid a small fee to hold them. Asked the DJ to confirm the date and keep it on standby. No one would be available for her last-minute swaps. I met with Melissa again and showed her everything. She tightened the post-nup language and added digital defamation clauses. She advised me on what to say if anyone accused me of foul play. She told me not to propose the postnup too early. Wait until the moment she'd be most likely to sign. She'd do it for the image. She wanted a public display of trust. I also had Melissa send a non-binding NDA to Lena. It wasn't legal armor, just leverage. Lena signed immediately and gave me screenshots from the girls' group chat. They were cruel and precise about upgrading after the wedding. One message suggested framing abandonment if he left early. They discussed sympathy angles and content hooks. That chat alone proved intent. I saved every line. Then I began shifting small expenses back into her name. Requested invoices to be billed to Samantha. Made sure upgrades and add-ons showed her email. If she tried to dispute, the paper trail would show she ordered them. I even reactivated the joint card for 30 minutes. Ordered the expensive floral arch she had begged for. Then I deactivated the card again. If she used it after the wedding, the charges would stick to her. Every step felt surgical. Every move covered by evidence. She kept performing for followers. Posting bridal content, laughing with friends, planning premieres. She never suspected I'd flip the switch. She never imagined I'd turn her platform into proof. By the time I drove north to the cabin, the trap was set. All the pieces were in place, and every file had a timestamp. I woke before dawn in the rental cabin and brewed coffee. The sky was gray and quiet, exactly what I wanted. I packed a small duffel with the essentials and the flash drive. The flash drive held every file, every voice clip, every screenshot. I double-checked the burner phone in the pocket of my jacket. The burner had one message queued and scheduled to send. I sent the venue manager a clear, short email first. Remove my name from all booking documents, I wrote. The manager called back, confused but compliant. She promised to lock the date under the venue's policy. Next, I uploaded the 37-page PDF to my email. It included receipts, contracts, and the audio transcripts. I addressed it to family, vendors, and the guest list. I set the delivery for 12:45, exactly 15 minutes before ceremony. Then I typed the single line to Samantha from the burner. You can keep the ring, wedding's canceled, the message read. I hit send and immediately blocked the number. My heart was steady, not cold, just focused. I walked to my truck, locked the cabin door, and left. Marcus parked across the street with his dash cam running. He later told me he felt like an extra in a movie. I watched the venue feed from my phone as guests arrived. Bridesmaids fussed with dresses. Vendors finished last-minute setups. Samantha arrived in a white SUV, dress bag in hand. Her smile was bright and prepped for the camera. She walked to the entrance expecting music and his arm. Instead, the coordinator met her with a clipboard and a frown. Her optimism faltered when phones lit up across the courtyard. Someone held a phone to her face and asked, "Did you see this?" She scanned the email, and her expression changed to shock. She ran inside, looking for the groom. The groom's prep room was empty, like a stage cleared. Her scream echoed through the marble and the silence. Bridesmaids tried to calm her, but the cameras kept rolling. A guest played the PDF on a phone and read the receipts aloud. Phones recorded every breakdown and every denial. Samantha slapped a table and grabbed her dress bag. She sprinted to the parking lot, shouting for Paisley. Paisley was already in her car, texting furiously, not stepping out. The crowd watched, phones raised like a slow jury. Within an hour, clips spread across social platforms. By midnight, the clip had millions of views. The hashtag trended, and strangers called it a cautionary tale. Vendors refused refunds. Contracts showed signatures and extra add-ons. The venue kept the deposit under their policy and the rewritten contract. Samantha's followers turned into critics and then into mockers. People ripped apart her old clips for context and receipts. Her DMs filled with insults and screenshots from the PDF. Her mother left voicemails blaming me and calling it a setup. Delilah sent me a photo of Samantha crying in the hotel suite. The cake sat untouched, expensive and cold in the corner. I watched the chaos from a parked car 3 towns away. I did not gloat. I felt relief and exhaustion instead. I checked the bank accounts the next morning and saw the damage. Her charges stood, and her name was on every extra upgrade. She owed thousands and had no groom to share the cost. The internet had judged, and its verdict was harsh. I drove farther until the city signs blurred and stopped at a diner. A stranger asked if I was okay, and I said, "Better than before." I handed the flash drive to Melissa and let the legal work begin. She smiled once and said we did everything by the book. That night, I turned my phone off and slept without dreams. The morning after the canceled wedding, the internet was on fire. Clips of Samantha's meltdown spread faster than gossip ever could. 3 million views in 8 hours. The caption read, "When the groom finds out and walks away." Comments were brutal, endless, merciless. People replayed her crying in the parking lot on loop. Some called her the starter wife. Others tagged brands she had tried to work with. By noon, she turned off comments on all her posts. Then she deleted her main account. But screenshots never disappear. The PDF I sent had already gone viral. Every thread, every subreddit broke down the timeline. People highlighted the messages where she called me temporary. Others shared the audio where she mocked my food truck. The internet was both the courtroom and the jury. And she had already been sentenced. Her sponsorship deals vanished overnight. The venue refused to refund a cent. The florist sent her invoices with late fees attached. The photographer charged for a no-show day. Every contract she'd signed was under her own name. Total debt crossed $18,000. She tried calling the bank to dispute payments. The receipts showed her approval and signature. The florist even posted a statement online, thanking me for honesty. People flooded the comments with support. Samantha's followers turned into investigators. They dug through her old posts, her captions, her hashtags. Someone found the folder name in one of her clips, "Luxury Bride Launch." It became a meme within hours. Brands quietly distanced themselves. Her influencer dream collapsed in public view. Meanwhile, I stayed silent. No interviews, no explanations, no comments. Melissa handled the legal noise that followed. Samantha's mother left long voicemails about humiliation and betrayal. Her father didn't speak. He had seen enough proof in the email. Lena messaged me saying her sister was a wreck. I told her to stay clear and move on. The next week, Samantha posted one last video. A shaky monologue about love and forgiveness. She said I blindsided her and ruined her life. Within minutes, comments flooded the post with receipts. People replied with her own words, screenshots and quotes. "You used him," one said. "Now face it," another wrote. She deleted the video in less than an hour. Her reputation was beyond repair. Every gossip page picked up the story. News outlets blurred our names, but not the facts. Her friends went private or vanished entirely. Ryan deactivated his account. His ex posted a thank you message to me publicly. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Samantha became the warning sign for every fake influencer online. The hashtag stayed trending for a week. Her name turned into a punchline in short videos and memes. Brands joked about, "Don't pull a Samantha in their ads." It was cruel, but I didn't stop it. Actions of weight, and hers finally crushed her. I checked my business account, steady, untouched, safe. Orders were up because of the story. People lined up to buy from the guy who escaped the scam. Some called me lucky, some called me genius. I wasn't either. I was just done being quiet. Samantha's downfall wasn't revenge. It was consequence, and every consequence had her signature on it. Months passed, and silence finally replaced the noise. The story died down, but the lesson stayed alive. I focused on rebuilding what she tried to destroy. The food truck business was thriving again. I bought a small warehouse and turned it into a prep kitchen. No more renting space for late-night cooking. Everything was mine, under one roof, efficient and clean. I hired 2 more workers and gave everyone raises. For the first time in years, I slept without tension. My profits rose 22% in 1 quarter. The world had moved on, but Samantha hadn't. She tried launching a podcast about growth and recovery. The first episode opened with her crying softly. She spoke about betrayal, manipulation, and healing. But the internet wasn't ready to forgive. Comments poured in with screenshots from her own messages. "Maybe heal from using people first," one said. Another wrote, "You built your pain yourself." The reviews were brutal, relentless, honest. 5 episodes later, she deleted everything again. She tried to rebrand under a new handle, new image. But every time she posted, someone recognized her. Her name had become digital cement. Every lie she told was carved into search results. She blocked half the internet and vanished from feeds. Meanwhile, Ryan was gone too. His accounts deleted, his business closed. His ex moved on and started over, free of the chaos. Lena visited my food truck one quiet afternoon. No cameras, no pity, just a calm conversation. She ordered a quesadilla and waited until the line was gone. "She's broken," she said softly. "Let her be," I replied. She handed me a small box and walked away. Inside were photos from my first trip with Samantha. The ones I thought she lost years ago. On the back of one, in her handwriting, it said, "He's easy to fold." I folded the photo in half and dropped it in the trash. It burned fast in the fryer's heat. That night, I checked the condo's digital lock history. 3 failed entries, 1 with the old access code. She had tried to come back. I had changed everything: locks, passwords, life. The next morning, the condo was empty, peaceful, final. I listed it for sale and accepted a cash offer in a week. With that money, I cleared debts, expanded routes, and saved more. My business had become a symbol of rebuilding. People saw strength, but I saw closure. Samantha faded from headlines, from whispers, from relevance. No more drama, no more followers, no more excuses. She was simply gone, replaced by silence. I didn't hate her anymore. Hate takes energy, and I'd rather build. I drove my truck through the city, windows down, music low. The smell of smoke, spice, and peace filled the air. Some lessons cost money, some cost love. Mine cost both, but paid in wisdom. Revenge wasn't the victory. Freedom was. And freedom tasted like the food I cooked with my own hands. The city moved on, and so did I. The chaos faded, replaced by quiet mornings and clean starts. Every scar turned into a map of lessons learned. I didn't chase forgiveness or validation. I didn't need applause for surviving. I had my business, my peace, my freedom. Sometimes I'd see my reflection in the truck window and smile. Not the smile of revenge, but relief. Samantha became a ghost in the background of my story. No hate, no anger, just distance. She taught me the price of trust and the value of silence. And I paid both in full. People still whisper about the man who walked away. They call me clever, cold, calculated. But the truth is simpler. I just refuse to be someone's stepping stone. Now, every meal I serve feels like a new beginning. No cameras, no lies, no performance. Just work, honesty, and peace. The story that started with betrayal ended with balance. And sometimes, that's all the revenge a man needs.